Hey guys, so I don't know if you guys heard the video or the clip from yesterday's podcast where my friend Frank talks about how, he explains how could it be that the woke leftists, on campus are screaming Free Palestine. Not only screaming Free Palestine, they are basically supporting Islamists, right? They're supporting people. Like, how could it be that they're supporting people who would literally throw them off the rooftops? And my friend Frank explains, amazing explanation, that these people are Amalek, right? They're the same type of Gnostic cult as the Islamists themselves, and this is an entity, in the Torah that was willing to, sacrifice themselves, do like a kamikaze move, just to harm Jews, right? It's like a death cult, just like jihadists are a death cult, right? And they support them. They support each other. They have the same kind of MO and really goals, right? So now, think about this, guys. If that's the case, think about how crazy this is. At the same time, these Amaleks are walking around campus, and also both groups, the woke left, white kids, and also the Islamists, they're walking around campuses and they're walking around just, protests around cities, chanting what? That the Jews are doing a genocide on them, or they're doing a genocide on the children of Gaza, right? My friends, we know that the chief joy of a mother in Gaza is for her son or even daughter to be a shaheed, a martyr. We know that these woke left fruitcakes are also willing to either put their own lives on the line. How do we know that? Because again, they're willing to, allow, let's say, even these people to come, let's say, into America and literally take over cities, literally take over legislatures and cities and municipalities and etc. Seemingly not realizing what's going to happen to them, right? The crocodile's going to eat them probably first. And so they're willing to die. Both these groups are willing to die, but at the same time, as they're willing to die, as their chief value and chief joy is to die because it's a death cult, they are screaming bloody murder. So basically they're trying to play on the heartstrings of what they, perceive to be the beliefs of normal people in the West, right? So they're screaming bloody murder, all the while wanting to die. So let's just, it's not the case that there's a genocide. There is no genocide, right? Because their population keeps going up, keeps exploding, no pun intended. But let's just say even if there is, there's collateral damage from war, that collateral damage is essentially giving these cult people what they want, both the Islamists and the wokes. It's giving them what they want, but so they want it, and yet they're screaming bloody murder that it's happening, because they're playing on the heartstrings of who? There's also woke right, all these groypers, these Dave Smith types, Nick Fuentes types, Candace Owens, Stu Peters, I can go on and on. What's his name? Carlson. So it's playing on those. That's not really playing on their heartstrings. They already hate us anyway. They don't have to play on any heartstrings. There's people out there, you can play on their heartstrings. You can start the conversation, right? Oh, but what about this, with the media, right? The media will so to speak, fall for it. Oh, what about the folks, these people are being given what they want, and then they're coming and saying that they're complaining, they're being given what they want. They're calling it, genocide. This is obviously a war that they started, right? It's collateral damage in the war that they started. Folks, this is Amalek. Amalek will come. He will try to kill us, the Jews, right? Especially he'll attack us in places when we're most vulnerable, right? Kidnap, rape, all the rest of it. Then those, so then effectively they will have started the war. When you retaliate against them, They want it. They celebrate anytime there's a shaheed, right? But then they scream bloody murder. So on the one hand, they're willing to sacrifice themselves just to eliminate the Jew. And on the other hand, they're willing to vilify, whoever they're attacking as to paint them as the aggressor. My friends, this is mass narcissism. This is like if you guys have ever dealt with a narcissist, this is what this is. Right? They attack, they provoke, then when they get the reaction, and of course the reaction usually ends up coming, in the form of something very, harsh, because they have to be stomped out, right? They have to learn the lesson, really. So when that happens, they scream bloody murder, and you look like the bad guy. They paint you as the bad guy. And yet, all the while, they wanna sacrifice themselves. So when you're dealing with a narcissist, let's say, they sacrifice themselves, so to speak, emotionally and socially. They're willing to cause this ruckus, chaos. It's all about chaos, folks. Amalek is chaos. So the narcissist needs chaos. He needs what's called supply, right? These people, they're willing to physically go there, physically sacrifice themselves. All the while, genocide. My friends, it's the most, I don't know, just crazy making thing you'll ever see, you'll ever experience. But this is Amalek, folks. This is Amalek's calling card, what I just described to you. So, my friends, now we understand kind of the full picture of how could it be, again, that these kids on campus, right, who would ostensibly find Islam, period, to be a shtickle too conservative for them, right, to put it lightly, but yet they are walking around with keffiyehs, screaming Free Palestine. Some of them even, welcome Islamic prayer on campus and on the grounds of the campus, and welcome, come into our country, welcome, take over the city hall, take over, the state, take over everything, take over Senate, Congress, judicial system, maybe even, right? My friends, because it's a suicidal cult. They all are. And they're being given what they want, and then they scream about it because they know you care. They don't care, but they know that you care. That's how sick this is. All right, my friends. Talk to you soon.